That's a lot to take in. Can you summarise quickly?
Yeah, absolutely. To help the more visual amongst us, it can be helpful to look at the breakdown of everything associated with the benchmark. Firstly, there are two surveys completed online using our secure platform. Part 1, where we ask you to provide statistics about your workforce, and Part 2, where we ask you questions about your policies and practices. To support the completion of these surveys, we have produced various guides. We have written guidance for Part 1, which explains what data it is we're after. We also have a spreadsheet with example calculations to help you avoid any doubt when answering these questions. To support our public sector members, we have written a short guide for both parts, which should make it easier for you to find relevant data and information by bridging the gap between our language and terminology and the work the public sector already does in this area, as legislated for in the Equality Act. The guidance for Part 2 focuses on helping you answer questions which require a narrative response. It explains how we mark these answers so you can really focus your response, which will save you a lot of time if you read it properly. In terms of the feedback reports, they're split by race and gender, so you get two separate reports if you do both benchmarks. Within those reports, they're broken down by impacts and inputs, so all the data, statistics given to you, what your response was, what the sector average is, and what the public and private sector average is for each metric. The inputs report looks at individual questions and individual actions and says what percentage of organisations are doing X, Y, and Z, and whether you're doing them or not. And then to further support that, we will provide you with written feedback on 2 or 5 areas of the report, depending on your membership level, in which we go into a lot more detail about what you're doing, what your peers are doing, and what we recommend will be good actions. And to further that, we'll come up with an action plan for you, which we write after your feedback meeting, in which we help you identify what it is you're going to do next. Finally, we publish some insights which we put on our website, which we call the trends analysis. So that report is usually about a 30-page document which looks at the trends from the last year. In order to publicise that, we usually have a webinar in which we also announce the top 10s and a live event where we usually have panel discussions and other guests. Further to that, we usually run 2 additional webinars in which we look at different trends not explored in the full trends analysis report.